do with those punches. It really becomes very scientific and very nuanced and very difficult to hit somebody when their chin all of a sudden is leaning back and replaced by this shoulder. You might be lucky and get the temple, but they're cognizant of that. They're protecting that space now with their feet, with their waist, with their hands. It's such a great style, but you really need to be coached on it, and the way people are doing it now is questionable. But especially if you've really outskilled somebody, if you really feel like you're at a higher level than somebody, this is a great style because it's so confusing for them and it will catch the opponent. But like I said, you gotta be prepared to take shots. Roll and take shots on your shoulder. Right where your chin was, you replace that with the shoulder and then throw overhands, straight shots, just like a tripwire. Bam, a quick rhythm, knock, knock. The first knock being hitting the shoulder, the second knock being you hitting their chin. Bang, bang. It becomes this really fast tripwire countering style, which exhausts the opponent and makes them feel like they're swinging at you and they can't hit anything. And having sparred pro boxers who have broken my nose, given me black eyes, bloody lips, who fight this style, that's when you start to take the bait and make mistakes and throw huge shots that you would not normally land because you get nervous and then you do something stupid. Instead of being smart and getting outside of the pocket and feinting and maybe going downstairs and angling, you just try to go for it, and that's when the real damage happens. So definitely much more so than peekaboo, much more so than the Russian long guard. I would say the most advanced style is the Philly shell because it's such an inside the pocket style. It takes so little damage while being inside the pocket, and that's the brilliance of it. But before we go, let's get back to just regular punch power mechanics because I thought that's what we were going to talk about. They actually did a study. They studied a championship boxer, and they put electrodes all over her body. She was and they literally found that in her most powerful punch, the muscle activation, this was with male boxers as well, entire Olympic team, it was down here for a left hook or something off of this side. And for a punch off of this side, like a rear cross, it was all opposite side muscles that were putting this amazing amount of leverage and force and power that these pro boxers used. So all this stuff we're talking about, professional boxers and professional fighters are doing it ad nauseum all the time. That's why they always work on footwork drills, conditioning, movements specific to fighting, so that we can use the whole body, so that we can maintain our posture, and so that we can return to this defensive posture after every exchange and being successfully in a safe position while taking as little damage as possible and obviously dishing out as much damage as possible. So you got a little lost on tactics and techniques there and not really the essence of power punching, but really it all comes down to stance. The way I was taught in martial arts is you have to step on every punch. And then I got into boxing and kickboxing. I was like, no. Actually, sometimes you're in the perfect distance. You don't need to step. But what you still need to do is keep the legs strong, keep the legs involved, push off the rear foot, twist on that front foot for the jab. Do the same thing for the cross. And the greatest fighters of all time wrote books about this. They broke it down into the science of how the body feels and how you use these opposing muscles. Like my coach who fought Holyfield used to always say, punch on this side until the rear lat, until the opposite lat gets sore. And that's great advice. That typifies this type of whole body motion where we're breathing with emotions,